Today we're about to get into setting up the Epson Short Color F570. So stick around if you're interested in this setup. I'm going to be learning as well, and if you already know more information about this printer than me, please put comments in the comment section. I will also be setting this up on a MacBook Pro. There are a lot of videos of people setting this up on a Windows based computer. So stick around, let's get into it. Alright, so the first step is to pour in the black ink into the reservoir. You go ahead and remove this out of the way. So the instructions say to leave this sealed until you're ready to use it to keep, I guess, the ink. I guess to ensure the quality. I don't know. But don't open the package until you're ready to use it. Then once you take it out the pack, it says to lightly shake it for like 5 seconds. Don't shake it too much, because if you do, I believe it'll create bubbles inside the ink tank, and when you go to pour it in, I'm going to assume that, well, it's not safe to make any assumptions, I'm not sure, but the bubbles, you're probably going to get air in your lines inside the printer. So don't shake it too vigorously, shake it lightly, about 5 seconds. Then you got to twist off this cap. It's very easily twist off. A good thing to note about this ink setup is that you can only put the black on the black spot. You can't mix it up and put it on the wrong spot on accident. It only fits one way. Alright, so let me see. Insert the ink bottle into the filling port. I got all my instructions right here as shown below. Wait for the ink to fill the tank. Alright, so let's just do it. Alright, I did it, and I don't know if anything is happening, to be honest. Okay, I see it. The ink is slowly starting to go in. I will give y'all a shot when I do another bottle. Alright, so this is about the closest I can get the camera without messing up a good view for you all. So after I just put these 3 into the tank, I got 1 left. The ink that's left over in the bottle goes to about this line, pretty much on all 3 of them consistently. When you pour the ink into the tanks, the level goes all the way up to the top, and the ink stops on its own. It doesn't overfill, so you don't have to worry about it coming out the top making a mess. But I just wanted to show you how much was left in the bottle. I wasn't sure if it was going to take half this bottle, but it does say in the instructions to save these for later because you will need them. So we will see why when we get to that point. But for now, I have 1 more left. And I'm just going to do this one on camera. Shake it up a little bit for 5 seconds, not too much. That's about 5 seconds. Unscrew the top. Then let me move the camera for you. I can close this one back because that's done. Open up the yellow, and then you just take it, one hand, and put it right over top, and it slides right down in place. But yeah, it's filling up pretty good. The one that took the longest time was the black ink, but overall it still doesn't take a long time. Alright, so all you do is just pull it straight off. and you screw your cap back on. Set this to the side because you're going to need to use it later. When you're done with that, close this back off. Now, before I move on, it does have instructions up top right here. And what the instructions say is for this white rubber piece that's in here, I'm going to show you in a minute, leave those in place as it is. The only time that you will move it, and I'm going to show you how to move it, is when you're moving the printer. Because, let's go back here, I'm going to open up all of them. This is the piece with the skinny part facing upward, and you just pop it in place on the little there you go, these little black pieces right here. The only time that you would flip this over like that, I believe, is when you're doing a cleaning or when you're moving the printer. Do not leave it like this because basically you're restricting the airflow of the ink, if I am correct. There's another video on YouTube where a guy said that because the instructions, these instructions are not on here, but they are here. So make sure you don't take that off, lose it, nothing like that. Leave it in place. I just want to point that out in case anybody, hopefully nobody runs into that issue. Alright, so let's move on to the next step, which next step is to close the cover. Now let's move on to the next step. Alright, so the next step is to plug in the power cord. I've already done that. Then it is to press the power button, which it is right here. You can see the power symbol. I'm going to go ahead and tilt this screen up for you so you can read the screen easier. Let's go ahead and press it. I just pressed it, I didn't hold it, and nothing happened. So now I'm going to press it and hold it. There we go. We got nice little sound effects. Alright, so here's your language option. I hope this shows up clear on the screen. But obviously, English, thank you for your purchase. See the setup guide and remove protective parts for transportation. After removal, touch done. I've already done that. Here's your date format. I'm going to choose month, day, year. Alright, and today they have it set as October 11th, 2020. And it is October 11th, 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and select OK. I'm going to put it on the 12-hour format. And I'm going to go ahead and set the time, which right now it is 12:55. So let me go ahead and set this to 12:56 p.m. And I keep looking at my phone. Alright, so there we go. Now it says preparing right here. Alright, information. While filling the ink, make sure not to squeeze the ink. Make sure to match the color to the ink bottle and ink tank. Ink may remain in the bottle, which I've already showed you all this stuff. You can use the ink later. Repeat ink filling over 2/3 of the ink tank could damage the printer. Repeated ink filling over 2/3 of the ink tank. Alright, so proceed. Make sure that all color inks are filled up to the upper line on the ink tank. Select the start button to start ink charging. So there we go. Alright, so it says initializing, do not open any covers or turn the power off until initialization is complete. This takes about 75 minutes. Now from other reviews that I've looked at on YouTube, I saw that it takes about an average of 20 something minutes. So it does not take a full hour and 15 minutes. So I'm gonna let it do its thing, and when it's done, I'll be right back. Alright, so it's done setting up or initializing. It got to about 45 minutes, or that's what it said. It didn't take 45 minutes at all, but the little remaining time, the line just went all the way to the end, sped up, and it completed. And this is the screen that it came to. Alright, so this is the screen that comes up automatically when I open up the ink compartment door, and it's the same information window saying when you fill up the ink, don't squeeze the bottles, make sure you match the colors to the right tank reservoir. I already filled up the ink bottles before I hit proceed, but this is what comes up. Refill the ink to the upper line. On the ink tank, select the proceed button after refilling to update the ink level. Hit proceed. Select the colors you refilled. I put ink in all of them. Refill it. Is the ink in the black, or is all your ink filled up to the upper line? Okay, I am going to say no, because it's filled up to the line below the top line. Set the ink level matching with the actual ink amount. Uses for more accurate ink level notification. Proceed. Alright, so set the ink level to where the actual ink surface is. Proceed. Black is right there. Yeah, pretty close to there. Magenta, same. Cyan is just a little bit less. About right there. I'm sorry, that was yellow. And then cyan is the same as black and magenta. Ink level has been set. Okay. Alright, looking back at the instructions, I just closed my ink tank cover. I don't know if I should have did that. I guess it doesn't matter. I've already reset the ink. Alright, so I guess I'm done with that. Next thing to do in the instructions is to install the software. I'm going to do that off camera. Basically, you go to the website epson.com/support/F570 and just follow the instructions for your computer. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and load the paper. I noticed that when you open up the compartment back here for your paper roll, it automatically notices that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this camera back. Hopefully I can get you a good view of everything. I'm starting to lose daylight. I'll shake the camera a little bit. So I'm going to open up this door right here. And then I'm going to open up this second compartment back here. And when I do that, it comes up on the screen saying the roll paper cover is open. Do you want to load the paper? Of course I do. Always close the roll paper cover and cut sheet cover to prevent dust from accumulating, except when loading the paper. Alright. So what I'm going to use is the 17-inch, 17 by 100 foot roll to start. And it's the paper that came with it. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't know what's going to happen when I click set, but that's the option it's saying. So I'm going to hit set. Alright, so it says load roll paper, see guide, and there's instructions, I guess, on how to do it. And there are also instructions on the inside showing you how to load your roll paper. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out and show you this. The black side right here, and then you have this clear side. Basically, you want the paper to go all the way to the black side, or the black end, and you're going to push the clear end all the way up against the paper. So I'm going to show you how it's going to look as soon as I just get this paper off. As for this pulls right off. Okay? You're going to take your paper tighten it back up. And you're going to slide it on to where the paper is, it rolls over top of the roll. Basically you want it facing you on the top of the roll. Slide this on all the way up against the edge of it right here, all the way up. Then you're going to take your clear piece and just press it back on. Fit it inside of the hole right here. Basically you want it to be snug. Alright, so that's nice and snug. Then you just take this and drop it right back inside. Alright. Now I don't really see instructions for how to load it, so I'm just going to roll it until alright. I just rolled it until the paper I guess came to a stop. Now it says close the roll paper cover and the dust cover sheet. Alright. Roll paper cover, dust cover sheet. Remove the stacker. Okay, so this piece right here is a stacker. I'm assuming you will only use it when you're doing like the 8.5 by 11 or basically the single sheets. So it's telling me to take it off. So this is an intelligent printer here. Alright, so I took it off. It's saying, is this paper type? Wait, what is it asking? Roll paper. Paper type, general purpose textile. Paper remaining. Off. Do I want to turn it on? Remaining alerts. I'll just leave the alerts on for now and see how that works. But I didn't know that that feature was there, but that's nice, I guess. So I know I need to re-up on some paper. And then you hit OK. Now it's loading the paper. And let's see what happens in real time. Okay. It sounds like it's coming back. It's back. Alright, so on the screen it has all the information for the paper roll. The paper is loaded, ready to go. So now, I guess the next thing for me to do is print. Alright, so I'm going to try to hold this camera steady while I do this. I'm going to try to print this 3-color design. Basically it's a logo of mine that I've never printed before. But anyway, I'm in Photoshop on a Mac. So basically I'm going to file, print, and I've already set this up according to someone else that I looked at on YouTube. Once you get this window on a Mac, you want to make sure you have your printers selected. Go to your printer settings, go in to your paper size and click manage custom sizes, and then you can hit the paper size that you want. I put 8" by 13" because of the size of my design. I know that my design fits in that size. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that out because I already selected my paper size. Let me see. You also want to go to, where do we want to go? That might be it for this window, to be honest. Okay. After that, you're back at this window. Whether you want your image to be landscaped or portrait, choose that from layout. Make sure everything fits. Go down to your color handling. You want Photoshop to manage your colors and not the printer. So I have Photoshop manage color selected. As far as the printer profile, there are a lot of profiles, and I think it depends on what you're printing on. So I'm about to just do a test print on a shirt. So I'm just leaving it as RGB. Another printer on YouTube contacted the company and they told her that that is the most common setting. I'm gonna play around with it more just to see what I come up with, see what changes. I have normal printing selected. I'm still under the document profile, printer profile area. Rendering intent, I'm gonna leave it at relative colorimetric. And again, I got to play with these different settings to see what changes. Other than that, I think that's it. So I'm about to hit print and see what happens. The image is larger than the paper's printable area. Some clipping will occur. Alright, I thought I set that up correctly, so let's just see how it looks. So I hit print. See if anything's happening over here. Nothing yet. Okay, there we go. And in real time, I'm gonna let you see how long this takes. Alright, so that's how long it took. It said it would be some image clipping. However, I made my image smaller than the actual paper, so I didn't think it would clip. The paper should have ripped, which it did. Alright, so that's not bad for my first print. The only thing that I'm seeing that is wrong with this is that it is not mirrored. So I have to figure this out on how to mirror it. Because in the program it is. Alright, so I printed it again. I thought that I was supposed to mirror the image in the program. But in the program I have the image right reading. So it automatically mirrors when you send it to the printer. Which is interesting. I didn't know that. So, I'm trying to hold stuff from flying away because I have my garage open. Alright, so this is the one that I can't use because you can actually read it and it needs to be mirrored when I print it. So that's basically scrap. This is the one that I will be using. So I don't know if you saw it on the computer how clear it shows up, but those letters are very blue. Pretty sure it's not very clear on the camera, but this looks not even close to blue. It's more like a very, very dark purplish. So I'm interested to see how those colors pop once it's sublimated. I'm gonna take this and I guess fold it halfway. Alright, so here's my little center line, make it just about even. Guess I'll go ahead and cut off this excess that I don't need. And I'm waiting on my press to heat up. I don't know if I have it on the right temperature. I know a lot of sublimation is supposed to do at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. I have it set to 390. I don't have any butcher paper. I have parchment paper. I don't know if that's going to mess something up, if it even matters. But I put parchment paper inside of here. I'm also going to put parchment paper on top of here, like so. And then I have this, which was basically a paper bag. I'm going to see if I can use that until I can get out and get some parchment paper to make sure I don't mess up my press. And then I'm going to put this sheet on top of it, because I'm definitely going to make sure I don't mess up my press until I can get more of the right materials. But I do want to do this press for you. Let me get this camera set down somewhere. Alright, so I'm going to be honest with y'all, I'm actually pretty nervous about this first print. Let me tell y'all what I'm using. This is a Gildan Performance t-shirt. I actually got 3 of them to try it out. This one is it's 100% polyester, but it's supposed to have a cotton feel. So I ordered it because I knew the printer was coming. I wanted to try it out. But I am pretty nervous about this print. I'm just going to be honest. So I'm going to do the whole 4 fingers from the collar. Try to line it up. I'm not going to use no T-squared or anything. I'm going to try to get it centered to where I think the center is. And I am going to tape it in place, even though I probably don't need to. Just to make sure it doesn't move on me. Alright. Now I have this sheet. Covers my whole image. Then I have that. I'm gonna put this over everything. Since I'm using all this stuff, I'm thinking I probably should have just went to 400 degrees. But I have it set at 390 for 60 seconds. And let's see what happens. Heavy pressure. I'm nervous. But if I make a mistake, we all about to see this mistake. I see some smoke. I hope that's a good thing. Or at least I'm glad I put the parchment paper in between the paper bag and the shirt. But yeah, this is just an experiment. Doing it on camera. I'm not perfect, so hopefully my temperature just changed on this press, by the way. Alright, let's see what happens. Take this off. Take this off. Oh snap. So you probably can't see it. I don't see anything on that paper. This actually, it did sublimate, no doubt about that. But I'm thinking it could have, I guess I need to boost the temperature. I guess I need to boost the temperature because this doesn't look, it's not blue, it's actually purple. And there's like a light streak right here. So I don't know, I guess time and temp, it wasn't long enough because there's a lot of color still on this piece of paper. I'm gonna try it again. Alright, real quick, I went in and I changed my settings real quick. On this main screen, when you bring up your print window, what I had here was this sRGB setting. I changed that to the Epson F570 general purpose textile setting. And I still have Photoshop to manage colors. What I noticed was up here, the colors in this preview window looked kind of washed out from the actual colors that I'm looking at in my actual panel that I was working in Photoshop. On the print preview window, the colors look faded. And then down here where it says rendering intent, I changed that to perceptual. Originally I had it on relative colorimetric. I don't know if that makes any difference at all, but that's the change that I made. And before, I said my color looked purple. I'm starting to lose daylight here, but basically that's why the purple came out on my shirt that I printed. Grab the shirt. So that's the shirt. I mean, really it's not bad. I'm surprised how sublimation looks. And this right here looks kind of, it's not black. It's supposed to be black. It's kind of greenish, just like it is on here. I'm assuming that has to do with time and temperature, not necessarily pressure, because I'm using heavy pressure. But I printed it out again, and this one is looking pretty blue compared to this one. I'm sure you can't see it well, but you can definitely see how that looks. That's definitely purple. This one's definitely blue. So this time I have a large shirt, same kind of shirt, Gildan, 100% polyester. I'm gonna press it up and see what changes. Alright, so this time I'm pressing it at 400 degrees. I'm going a little bit longer, at just 10 seconds longer, so 70 seconds. Go ahead and use this forefinger again. Eyeball, line it up. Okay. I got me a new piece of parchment paper. I'm not using tape. I'm just going to set it and pray I get no ghosting. I'm not going to use the paper bag either. I don't know if that's blocking some of the heat. Throw this over the top. And it's at $3.99. It's supposed to be on 400. I don't know why. It's just that 1 degree. But I'm gonna go ahead and press it up and see what we get. There we go. This one is more blue. This one. Alright. Here's one I just pressed up. It's more blue. As you can see. A lot darker. A lot darker. I think the color can be even better. I need to play with the profiles. This one is a lot faded. That's purple. And the black right here is not black. These colors I believe could be richer, but it's actually the right colors. And you know, it's not bad. Not bad for my first 2 prints. So it can only get better. Alright, so if you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any tips, input, constructive criticism, I'm open to it all. Drop that in the comments down below. Let me know what I can do to improve my colors. Just to show you this again, my first print, and this is hopefully a better angle, I hope, as far as lighting. This was the first one. It has that purplish color. Alright, here's my second one. That's closer to the actual color it's supposed to be. That turned out pretty good. JBM Design Co. established 2020 because I just started my business this year and I'm doing pretty good. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching the video. If you watched it all the way through, hopefully I'm gonna cut this down pretty short, but as always, be yourself, be your best. I'm out.